So we are looking at wholeness, a journey through seasons of transformation. I'm still waiting for it to fully load so that you can. I guess you should be able to see now. Yes. Thank you so much. Okay, great. So we go ahead. So even as we go through our sessions tonight, there are a few things I want you to have at the back of your mind, even as we go along. Yeah, thank you. So I have a few objectives of this free webinar. And at the end of this session, I want you to be able to understand why some people feel stuck despite trying so hard. You will be able to recognize the different seasons of personal transformation. You will be able to identify the season you are currently living in. You will be able to understand what true wholeness actually means. You will also be able to learn why healing, growth, and purpose happen progressively and not a one-time thing. Then the sixth thing you will be able to get from this session is the roadmap towards being able to discover the roadmap towards sustainable transformation. Okay, so I just want you to get into the chat this evening and just tell me what your expectations are. Why did you really sign up for this session? Get into the chat and just share with me. Why did you choose to say, you know what, let me just be a part of this free webinar that is being organized by L Cubed International Limited and facilitated by Ayon Lawrence. So let's get into the chat and just talk to me. Why did you choose to sign up? Why did you choose to say, you know what, let me be a part of what's going to be happening this Saturday evening instead of you lying on your bed or sleeping or just, getting ready for a good night's rest? Why did you choose to be a part of it? Let's get in the chat and share with me the reason why you chose to be a part of what is happening tonight. I'm ready to read from you. I'm ready to read from you. Why did you choose to come? I can't see any response in the chats. Okay. Someone is saying currently in a season of transition in different areas of my life, but I currently feel stuck. So my expectation is to gain clarity on how to move forward so I can bloom. Thank you so much for sharing this. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. If you still have other reasons, if we have other reasons, other people on the call who have their reasons, just share. We'll look at it together. So I still have some questions here for us. How many times have you promised yourself that, oh, this year will be different? Oh, I'm going to lose that weight. Oh, I'm going to heal from that relationship. Oh, I'm going to stop people pleasing. Oh, this year I'm going to be emotionally stronger. I'm going to finally discover the reason why I am here. How many times? I don't want you to get into the chat to write anything. I just want you to, in your mind, remind yourself how many times you've said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to discover the reason why I'm here. I'm going to be emotionally stronger so that I'm not swayed when challenges, come my way. I will stop pleasing people. I'm going to be my authentic self. I know each and every one of us can remember the number of times we've told ourselves we are going to do this. But one thing I want you to, recollect tonight is, irrespective of the number of times you have said that, it is possible for you to start, to do it right. It's possible for you to do it right. I'm trying to put it in presentation mode now. Fantastic. Okay. So you should be able to see it clearly now. Okay. So let's look at a myth that a lot of us have heard and we have even believed over time. And that biggest myth is the fact that people think transformation happens because you are motivated, because you are inspired, and because of the information that you're exposed to. And the thing is, that is not the truth. What information does is it changes what you know. That's what information does. Transformation itself happens through awareness. And when you decide to do the work intentionally, and not just doing the work intentionally, but choosing to be consistent. Because some of us, we found ourselves in the space where we are in for so many years. So it's not something that just happened yesterday. It's not something that just happened a year ago. For some of us, it's been for years, for decades. So it's not something that listening to a motivational speech or an inspirational talk or coming across an information can, take whatever you're going through away. No, you have to first of all come to that point of awareness, self-awareness, and then you telling yourself, I need to do the work to get from point A to point B. And apart from that, I need to be consistent, because in some instances, what has happened to an individual, like I said, has been over time. So it needs you to be consistent in whatever tools, strategies that you are deploying for you to get the results that you want. And in all this, you need to be able to go through that integration. All the things that you have heard, all the things that you know, all the tools that you're deploying, all working together. So it's important for you to remind yourself that transformation can only happen to me when I become self-aware, when I get to that point of, oh, I see. So this is what has been happening over time. So this is why I've been, reacting this particular way. Oh, this is why my response to things is usually in this particular manner, because I didn't know. And then doing the intentional work. And when we are doing the intentional work, we have to be, we have to extend grace to ourselves. A lot of times we extend grace to the people in our lives. We even tell them what to do. But when it now comes to us, it's difficult. So on this journey of intentional work, you have to be, you have to extend grace to yourself, and you have to do the work consistently. Whatever tools, whatever strategy has been handed over to you, you have to ensure that you are consistently deploying them to get the results that you want. So transformation changes who you become at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, you become that person you've always desired to be. So this is a fundamental for you to know that transformation doesn't just occur. It has a process. It has a process. I want you to do something for me. If you have a notepad with you, I just want you to write down what you keep finding yourself, doing. What we are doing at this point in time is to recognize patterns. So write down in a notebook, in your journal, what you keep finding yourself doing. What do you keep finding yourself doing? So I'll give us like few minutes to do that. What exactly do you keep finding yourself doing? Maybe for someone who has said, oh, I'm going to start exercising. So what's that particular thing you find yourself doing? Maybe you find yourself going back to not exercising, going back under the duvet and just putting your duvet over your head. I'm not going to stress myself. On this matter, I'm not going to stress myself. So what do you keep finding yourself doing? I want you to just do that exercise. And if it's more than one, just note them down, because those are the areas you're going to begin your journey of transformation. We find out that some people, keep attracting the same set of people. Some people find themselves always reacting in the same way. Some people may find themselves feeling the same emotions, facing the same struggles, year in, year out. So in your own case, what do you find yourself doing? If we're done, just get into the chat and just put done, 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 so that I can, release you. Okay, someone said I'm a journey to wholeness. Fantastic. Temitayo is done. Thank you, Temitayo. What do you find yourself doing? If it's more than one, please note them down, because those are the things that you're going to, begin to work on. Okay, I see just the entire writing done. Is there any other person who is done? Okay, done. Thank you. So I think we can move on. So when you hear wholeness, what comes to your mind? When you hear wholeness, what comes to your mind? I just want us to get into the chat and just, share with me what comes to your mind when you hear wholeness, because it's important. If you don't really understand what wholeness is, it will be difficult for you to begin that journey towards it. Okay, let's get into the chat. This has a lot of interaction. So when you hear wholeness, what comes to your mind? When you saw the completeness, okay, in all areas of my life, fantastic. A state of being at peace with myself, with yourself, spirit, soul, and body. Thank you. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you, Temitayo. Obasa, thank you. Elizabeth, thank you. Wholeness means complete spiritually, physically, mentally, relationally. Okay, good. Thank you so much for those responses. So before we go into what wholeness is, let's look at what is not. Being healed from the past hurt, synchronizing of your body, your spirit, and your soul. Thank you. So let's look at what wholeness is not. Wholeness is not being perfect. And some of us unconsciously have found ourselves on that path. We want to be perfect, even though we know that nobody can be perfect, but we just find ourselves, on that path of being perfect. Wholeness is not never crying. Wholeness is not always happy. Please note what I said, happy, because happiness in most instances has to do with the things that you see, the things. So wholeness is not always happy. Wholeness is not never struggling. There are things, that come our way that we're struggling with, but choosing not to allow those things to define us. We'll get there. Wholeness is not having trauma. It's not having no trauma. And what is trauma? Those things that we have experienced, those events that have happened and are negatively impacting the way we go through life. So wholeness is not having no trauma. Despite the fact that there has been trauma, you have chosen to thrive. It's beyond that. And having mentioned all this, so what is wholeness? What is wholeness? So wholeness is living in alignment with who you truly are. It is the integration of your mind, your emotions, your relationships, your identity, your purpose. And it ties to what we have all mentioned. We mentioned our spirit, our souls, our body. And when we are talking about wholeness, it means that everything and everything inside of you is in sync, is in alignment. It means nothing inside of you is at war with itself. Everything is in alignment. Everything is, in sync. There's an integration. A lot of us want to manifest, let me use that word, things on the outside, while on the inside, a lot of things are at war. There is a lot of misalignment. Our mind is not at rest. Our emotions are all over the place. The relationships that we have, first with ourselves and even with the people in our lives, are not in sync. Some don't even know who they are. And the truth is, you not knowing who you are should not take you to that place of you beating yourself up. Because in some instances, the things that have happened to you, your environment, your significant emotional experiences have formed you into who you are. And in that season of self-awareness, you are beginning to see that things are not in alignment. You are beginning to see that who you thought you are is not really who you are. It's a combination of where you have found yourself, your environment, the experiences you have had that have formed you. But there is a misalignment. You're beginning to see that this you that you've always experienced is not who you would really, really want to see yourself evolving into continuously. You've come to that point where you say, you know what, something has to give way. This is not the me that I really, really want to associate with, as it were. So wholeness means nothing inside of you is at war with itself. Everything is in alignment. Everything is in alignment. You're living in alignment with who you truly are. So let's look at the 4 signs you may be functioning but not whole. Some of us are functional. Some of us are able to do everything that has, people hand over to us. But it does not mean that we are whole. And the first sign is you're able to achieve a lot. You do so much, you're able to achieve. Even people are applauding you rather. But on the inside, you are not at peace. That is one sign. Oh, you're doing so well. How are you able to do all this? You do this, you do that, and but on the inside, you know that you don't have peace. That is one sign. You may be functioning, but you're not whole. Another thing is you have confidence in the public, but in private, when you lie down on your bed at night, you doubt yourself. Am I really, doing well? Imposter syndrome, sets in. In private, you doubt yourself. Another sign that you may be function is people need you, you know, they call you, do this, do this, do this. You see that people need you, but you are not known. You're being needed, but you're not known. And you keep doing, but the people that really need to, align with you and work with you don't even know that you are there. And the fourth sign is looking successful, but really on the inside, you're feeling empty. On the inside, you're feeling empty. You know that there is more, and you're not just there yet. At this point, I want you to do a mini reflection in that your journal that you have with you. Where are you functioning while silently struggling? So where are you functioning or you're silently struggling? I want you to. Okay, you missed the third point. It's still on the screen. I said being needed but not known. Being needed but not known. Yes, you know that there's a need for what you have. You're doing all you can, but the thing is, the right people are not connecting with you. So the people that need to connect with you, the people that need to know you, are not connecting with you. I want you to get to your journal again and write down, where are you functioning but silently struggling? Where are you functioning but silently struggling? I'll just give you a few minutes. So we are reflecting. Where are you functioning but silently struggling? If you're done, please let me know. If you're done, fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I want us to know that transformation happens in seasons. Like you have the butterfly that goes through seasons. The butterfly doesn't just show up. Oh, here am I, with the colorful wings and all. It goes through season. So the same thing, the transformation that we humans experience also go through seasons. And we've been able to put them into 4 seasons. And the first season is that season of awareness. And it is usually characterized by confusion, frustration, repetitive patterns. And when awareness sets in, that's when you now begin to ask yourself, why am I reacting like this? Why am I so exhausted? Why am I never satisfied? Why do I feel that hollow inside of me? Why do I feel sad despite all the accolades, despite all the applaud? You're coming to yourself and asking yourself these questions. So, in the process of you asking this question, answering this question, you find out that you're becoming aware. Because the truth is, you cannot heal what you refuse to see. You cannot heal what you refuse to know. You cannot heal what you refuse to be aware of. And that was why I asked us to write down those areas that have been consistently coming to our mind as things we need to work on, areas you're struggling with. You cannot heal what you refuse to see. So the first season is that season of awareness. When you notice that some patterns keep repeating and you find yourself in that loop. And because you're in that loop, there is frustration, there is confusion, and you're asking, something has to give way because this is not what I really believe I should be experiencing. I believe there is more. So that is the first season, the season of awareness. Then the second season is the season of healing. You have become aware of the pattern. And because the patterns have come to the fore, you are like, what have I been doing with myself? Then grief appears. That's a characteristic of this second season of healing. Grief appears. Forgiveness becomes necessary. First, forgiving yourself, forgiving the people in your life as well. And then sometimes you just find out, how do I put boundaries in place to ensure that I'm able to continue on this journey of transformation? Identity shifts. The person you used to think you are, it's now becoming so you're becoming aware that, oh wow, that's not really who I am. It's been masked over the years, it's been masked over the months, and I need to make adjustment. And in this season of healing, growth feels messy. And I call it the growth pain, the season of growth pain. Because you know that you need this healing, you need this evolution. It's usually not easy. It is usually uncomfortable. Because what you have held to be true, because which are your beliefs are those things you've held to be true for so long, begin to die. And you're having to, imbibe new beliefs. So in this second season, it can be very, very uncomfortable. It can be very uncomfortable. And it's very important that you have someone, to hold your hand through this season. That's why community is very important. And it's not only you that is walking through this uncomfortable season. We move on to our third season. Our third season is that of growth. And here you're taking on new habits, you're building new relationships, you're, regulating your emotions better, your thinking is becoming healthier. You find yourself, being much more confident in those areas that you haven't been before then. And then consistency is becoming the order of the day. So that is your third season. New habits, new relationships, better emotional regulation, healing, healthier thinking, greater confidence, and consistency. So that's your season 3. Then you now move on to season 4. Season 4 is that season wherein you begin to flourish because you've gone through the awareness season, you've gone through the healing season, you've gone through the growth season, and now you're flourishing. And when you're in this season of flourishing, you find out that purpose becomes clearer, your relationships improve, you are at peace. The things that throw you off balance no longer throw you off balance. You've learned to release. And for those of us who are people of faith, we've learned to release whatever may be troubling us to God. Then we stop surviving. We begin to thrive. We begin to contribute and to be a blessing to the people in our lives. So, in the season of flourishing, these are the things you begin to experience. Your purpose becoming clearer, you know the reason for which you are here and you are walking in it. The relationships you have with people is better. Your peace increases. You stop surviving. You begin to contribute. You begin to thrive. You begin to bloom. And you are a blessing to the people in your life. And I'd like to, take us to this place of reflection that no season is permanent. No season is permanent. So if you are in that season of awareness, remind yourself that you get to that season of healing. You get to that season of flourishing at the end of the day. So do not compare your own season to someone else's season. So someone who is in that healing season should not compare his or her own season with someone who is in flourishing season, because you too will get to that season of flourishing in that area of life wherein you need support. So I'm getting to another point wherein I want you to write down which season describes you today. So let's look at all the season we have. I'm taking it from the beginning. We have the awareness season, we have the growth season, we have the healing season, and we have the flourishing season. So, which of this season are you in? The awareness, the healing, the growth, and the flourishing. Which are you? I want you to put in your journal the season you are in. So we have the awareness, we have the growth, we have the healing, and we have the flourishing season. So which are you? Which of this season describes you today? Don't put it in the chat because it's personal to you. Okay, someone just sent me something. Yes, the healing. You have to heal before you grow. Let me take you back so that you can. So the healing, sorry, it's the second season. And like I mentioned, that's when it becomes uncomfortable. That's where grief appears. That's where forgiveness becomes necessary. Forgiving yourself first and forgiving the people in your life. Because we've come to understand that if you find it difficult to forgive yourself, most of the time you find it difficult to forgive people in your life. Because if you can't extend grace to yourself, how will you be able to extend grace to the people around you? So forgiveness starts first from you. So awareness, healing, growth, and then flourishing. I hope it's clear now. Okay, so we can go on. Okay, so we have 5 dimensions of wholeness. So the 5 areas wherein we experience wholeness. The first dimension, dimension 1, is mental wholeness. Mental wholeness. And the signs that an individual is not yet whole when it comes to the mental dimension is you overthink, negative thinking, comparison, limiting beliefs. I can't do this. I'm unable to do this. Oh, nobody in our lineage has done this before. And you just put yourself in a box. And for you to be able to help yourself in this dimension, to walk towards wholeness, you need to ask, what stories am I telling myself? What stories am I allowing to run my life? What beliefs control my decision? What stories run my life? What beliefs control my decision? What do I believe about success? What do I believe about life? What do I believe about work? What do I believe even about God? Because these are the things that limit how far we can go in life. So, overthinking, limited beliefs, negative thinking, and comparison. And for those of us who are Christians, there's a particular scripture that says that they that compare themselves to themselves are fools. So, if you don't want to be in the company of fools, that means you have to leave that space of comparison. So when we keep comparing ourselves to other people, we find out that we just put ourselves in that space of mental overload, and we won't be able to experience wholeness in our life as we so desire. The next dimension of wholeness, dimension number 2, sorry, is emotional. Let me just go there. Okay, is emotional wholeness. Oh, sorry. Okay, is emotional wholeness. And when we talk about emotional wholeness, we are looking at someone who has moved past anger, anxiety, resentment, shame, and emotional numbness. So when you find yourself still exhibiting one or all of this, that means there needs to be work needs to be done in your emotions. So anxiety, resentment, unforgiveness, shame, you're numb emotionally, you can't really relate with what is happening to people. Empathy is no longer something that is related with you. Anger, then work needs to be done in that space, in that dimension, so that kick off your journey to wholeness. And the questions you need to ask yourself is, do your emotions control you? Do your emotions control you? Or they inform you? Because our emotions are meant to pass information to us. Usually, when we are angry about something, what that emotion is telling you is something needs to be done in that area that you are angry about. Something is not the way it should be from your own judgment, and you need to wade in to make the necessary adjustment. So, when you experience anger, when you experience anxiety, when you experience resentment or unforgiveness, what is that telling you? It's telling you, for example, when you experience resentment, it's telling you that you need to let whatever has hurt you go. Because when you are resentful of someone, there is nothing that person does that, you know, gets to pass mark. Even when other people are saying, oh, great, well done to that person, because you have allowed resentment, to overshadow you, you are unable to see the good in that person. So resentment will be revealing to you that you need to extend grace, love to the person that you are resenting. So these are the signs that show up on your radar to let you know that you have work to do when it comes to your emotions. The third dimension that we have is the relational wholeness. So what are the signs that show up in this space, in this dimension? Patterns. Patterns. And this pattern is something that if you're not present with yourself, you may not even recognize. You're attracting the same set of people into your life. So you keep having the same relationship in different forms, in different shape, but it's still the same thing. Maybe you said, oh, um, I'm going to do this, but you just find yourself, maybe you start for a few weeks, you find yourself going back. So that's which is good, you're supposed to do. You start it, but then you go back. So you need to recognize the patterns. And being able to recognize patterns comes from you being sincere, being truthful with yourself. People pleasing as well. Some of us, over time, we are used to, oh, giving the people in our lives yes, 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 even to our own detriment. There was a particular reel I watched on Instagram, and they showed a particular lady that had a kettle in her hands. She wanted to pour some tea into her cup, and immediately she wants to do that, someone just comes, oh, give me some tea, she'll give. 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 Until she exhausted the tea in her jug. And by the time she wanted to turn the jug into her cup, the tea into her cup, she had exhausted it because she chose to just people please. So if you find yourself that you're extending or overextending yourself, you need to be able to make your no very much handy. Poor boundaries, avoidance, conflict, always, in conflict with people, being afraid of rejection, trying to avoid people as well, trying to avoid anything that will make you to have a relationship with others. How do you show up with people? That's the question you need to ask yourself. How do I show up with people? Do I show up as my authentic self? Or I show up as someone who um who just to wants to please other people? So you need to ask yourself that question. How do I show up? Do I always say yes to people? Am I a yes person? Am I a yes ma? A yes ma, yes sir? You know, where that at this point in time, your no is needed, not your yes. So when it comes to relational wholeness, you have to ensure that you are not someone who people please, someone who has been able to put great boundaries in place, someone who is able to, handle conflicts properly, who is not afraid of being rejected. Very important. So that's the third dimension of wholeness. Let's move on to the fourth dimension. The fourth dimension is purpose wholeness. And here, because it's very, very dicey, if care is not taken, you just find out that you're so busy, so busy. Some of us were even busy to escape the things that are looking at us in the face. We are busy. We are not aligned to the reason why you are here on earth. You're here, 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 all over the place. And what you need to look out for here is, am I just trying to achieve, or my life has meaning? That's one question that is very important that you answer on this fourth dimension. Am I trying to achieve, just be in that space of achievement, or all I'm doing is, you know, is bringing purpose, is bringing meaning to the lives of the people in my life? Then we have the fifth dimension, and that is legacy, legacy wholeness. And the question you need to ask yourself is, if someone experienced me consistently, what would they remember about me? What have I been able to put across as who I am? And what we are talking about here is authenticity, not that I just want people to know you for something that is not really true about you. If someone experiences you consistently, what will they remember about? What would they remember about you? What would they remember? So this is, the fifth dimension, where we have the legacy wholeness. And all these five brings me to, this exercise. So when you take your mind wholeness, rate yourself 1 to 10. So let's look at what you have in these, 5 dimensions. I want you to get your journal and rate yourself 1 to 5. Let's see what you have. Rate yourself 1 to 5. If you've done, 1 to 10 in these 5 dimensions. So 1 means the least, and 10 means, oh, I'm doing great. So between 1 and 10, rate yourself. 1 means, there's so much to be done, or 10 means, so great, in this space, in this dimension, I'm doing well. So if you're done rating yourself, let me know. If you're done rating yourself from 1 to 10, let me know. Okay, thank you. From your ratings, I'm sure you've been able to recognize where you need to work on, where you need to heal, where you need to grow. I'm sure you've been able to. We've talked about the mind, the emotions, relationships, purpose, and legacy. Okay, I have a few number of people who have said done. Okay, thank you so much. So I want you to keep that which you have, the ratings you've given to yourself, because it's going to come handy. Okay, so why does transformation require a journey? Why? Why do we think transformation requires a journey? Does anybody have an idea why we think transformation requires a journey? I have it on the okay. We didn't get to where we are. We don't get to where we are in a day. Absolutely. So you attend seminars, you read books, you watch YouTube, um, you watch YouTube videos, you go on certifications, you know, it doesn't still guarantee that you are going to get the transformation you desire, because it doesn't happen in a day. It's a process. Yes, it's a process, and it has to be covered progressively. Absolutely. It's a process, very important. Information without implementation changes nothing. Information without implementation. So if I listen to a YouTube video now that talks about, oh, you have to wake up in the morning, do your exercise, do your affirmation, and I do nothing about it, I just take in the information, I do nothing about it, I won't experience the change that I want. I will not experience the change that I want at all. Real transformation requires that we reflect, we practice, we are accountable, we have a community, we choose to be people that can be coached, and we give it time. Wholeness cannot be microwaved. We're in the age of microwave this, microwave that, and a lot of us are going back to not microwaving again. Let us go through the process. Let us cook so that we can get to where we want to. Let us cultivate. So wholeness cannot be microwaved. It has to go through that process. And real transformation requires you being able to reflect, being able to adjust, being able to practice, choosing to be accountable. Oh, this is where I'm at. These are the things I'm struggling with. These are the beliefs I've had over time. And the people that you surround yourself with can also determine how far and fast you're going to go. So if there are people that say, "Oh, you can do it. We are holding your hands. We are here to support you," you find out that that individual moves far and fast. Coaching, giving it time as well, very important. So transformation is a journey. It's not something that just happens in a day. It's a process. It takes time. And if I say it takes time, in some instances, you will find people who are committed to it and have chosen to go through this process of reflection, practice, accountability, community, coaching, and time. It's the journey is, collapsed, it's shortened because they've committed themselves to it, because they've committed themselves to that journey. So that takes me to something important that we will be engaging in the month of September. Our flagship program at L Cubed International Limited is called the Wholeness Within Experience, because we know that wholeness starts from within. It's not something that you can just, put up that facade. If you do, after some time, the truth will still find its way to the surface. So it starts within. And the thing we've come to understand is when we are whole within, like we said, all the dimensions, the 5 dimensions that we talked about, will be positively, impacted. It will be positively impacted. So we have this wholeness within experience that takes you on a journey through 4 seasons and 5 phases. So the first season is that season of living, where you heal your relationships with yourself using what we call the mind overhaul method. Then the second season is the healing of your relationship with others. Healing your relationship, this is with others, using the emotional restoration framework and the relationship reset process. So living is healing your relationship with yourself. And then, the second season, which is love, healing your relationship with others, using the emotional restoration framework and relationship reset process. Then the third season is laughing, where you choose to live with purpose, using the purpose alignment journey. So when you're laughing, you are in that space of you're happy with yourself, you are glad with where you are at, and you are able to tap into the reason for which you are here, and you are aligning, your purpose on the journey of life. Then we have the fourth season, which is the thrive and bloom season, wherein you flourish as you intentionally build legacy through the legacy blueprint. So those are the 4 seasons and that we have. You live, you love, you laugh, and you thrive and bloom. So those are the 4 seasons we have, under the under the wholeness within experience. And the phases, if you look at it closely, we have season 1 as live, season 2 as love, season 3 as laugh, and then season 4 has 2 phases combined, which is the thrive and bloom. So those are the things that you will experience when you come on our wholeness within experience. But before we do that, I just want you to do a bit of reflection tonight and to write it down in your journal. So, as we have gone through this webinar together, what have you realized? What do you need to let go of? And what do you think your next season should be? Just write it down. What have you come to realize? What do you need to let go of? And what should be your next season? I'm giving you time to do that. If you're done writing the statements, let me know. What season are you? You can look at it from the seasons that we talked about at the beginning, and you can choose to look at it from the seasons that we have in the wholeness within experience. So, what season are you? Are you in that season of self awareness? Are you in that season of healing? Are you in that season of growth? Are you in that season of flourishing? Okay, thank you. And based on our wholeness within experience, are you in that season of living, of loving, of laughing, thriving, and blooming? So you are in that season of living, you are becoming aware of yourself, and you're choosing to, you know, heal yourself from that place of awareness. Then loving, you're beginning to heal and having a better experience with the people in your life, the children, the parents, spouses, colleagues. You are in that space, or you're in that space of laughing, wherein you're beginning to discover purpose. Oh, this is the reason why I'm here, and walking in it, and then thriving and blooming. So, which of these seasons are you in? I see just one done. Excuse me. If you're done, please let me know. Display the seasons so that you can see. Okay. I think my okay, good. Became unresponsive for a few minutes. Okay, done, done, done. Okay. So we've done not up to 90 minutes, but within roughly within that. If today's 90 minutes has helped you to discover where you are at, you can imagine what 90 intentional days will do for you. Because our wholeness within experience is a 90 days journey. And you can imagine what you've been able to elicit from the reflection questions, and what you've been able to do tonight. So you can imagine, if you are to do this in 90 days, taking a day at a time, walking through the process, how you will, what you will experience at the end of the 90 days. So I am inviting you, to join me in the wholeness within experience. And the wholeness within experience is a guided transformational journey. It's not something that you will be left alone to do. I will be there on that journey with you, and we will, all experience this transformation together. So, for those of us who have attended this webinar tonight, I will be giving this wholeness experience to us at a very discounted rate. I was having a conversation with myself and I shared with someone very close to me that for those who come for this wholeness with who come for this webinar tonight and are willing to join me on this wholeness within experience, I'm going to be giving them a very, very huge discount. And I'll be walking you through the seasons of transformation. There will be guidance, there will be practical tools, there will be accountability, and there will be a supportive community. So I want to believe that all of us on this call registered and you are in the group that we got the link for this program, for this webinar on. I want to believe we are all there. If you're not in the group, let me just kindly signify because I will be sharing some things with you in the group. So if you're not in the group, please let me just know. Kindly get into the group and just let me know if you're not in the group. Are we all in the group? Okay, great. So for those of us, oh, okay, not a problem. We would share the recording on the group so that you can go through again. So for those of us who are not in, who are, I believe we are all in the group. So for those of us who are here tonight, I'm giving this wholeness within experience to us. Normally it goes for 300, if I'm not mistaken, 300,000, but we'll be giving it to us at 150. And it's a 3 months journey. It's a 3 months journey. So in the group, I will share how you're going to make payment for it. And for people who are not in that group, I can see names of some people who are not in the group and are here. If you are not in the group, just let me know so that I can add you to the group. Please, if you're not in the group, can you signify? But if you are, fantastic. You will get the link to making payment. I'll be giving us you're not in the group. Okay. Is Temitaya, I think you're in the group. Is this Temitaya Amole? Yes, you are in the group. That was where you got the link to join this webinar. So when I'm saying the group, I mean the group that takes us into the webinar. So if you know that you're not in the group, that's if you didn't get the link to this webinar from that group, maybe a friend sent it to you, then you need to let me know so that I can add you to the group because this discount that I'm making available will just be for the people who are in the group, people who are around tonight. So the wholeness within experience kicks off on the 1st of September. It's a 90-day journey, September, October, November. And we'll be walking through these seasons together as a community. So for those of us in the group, I'll share the details for you to be a part of it. And those who are not, a part of the webinar tonight, they will have to go through the full payment. So you are here tonight and you will be taking advantage of the discount for you in the season. So, like I said, when you join the wholeness within experience, it will walk through your seasons of transformation with expert guidance, practical tools, accountability, and a supportive community because we are all on that journey together. And the first part of this wholeness within experience is the mind overhaul. And we've had some people come on that experience and it's been a transformative one. So it starts from there. It starts with you and then to the people in your life and then to other things that has to do with you. So you don't have a good life, as it were, if you've not taken care of yourself, if you have not, become intentional to heal, to grow as a person. You can't give to other people what you don't have. And that's what we will be supporting you with in the wholeness within experience. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to get back to, yeah. Okay, so thank you so much, everyone, for joining. If you have any question, please ask at this point in time. And in the group, that's where I'll share the details of the payment for the the wholeness within experience, so that you can pay accordingly, and then we meet on the 90-day journey. Trust me, it's not something you want to miss, something that you want to engage so that you can begin to live your best life, no matter where you are, no matter the season wherein you may find yourself, whether you are still in self awareness, whether you are still in healing, growth, or flourishing, you can, you know. Even in flourishing, there's still much more to do, to experience, to, get to that point that, oh, I love the life I am living. So I will be sharing in the group the details, and then from there, you can join us in September as we walk through the wholeness within experience. So, thank you so much, everyone, on the call tonight. We meet in the wholeness within experience community. Thank you. God bless you. Bye.